Hey, DNA Strand crew, TJ here with the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast. Today we're going to be bringing you a quarterback safe or not safe show going into 2023. It'll be a lot of fun, see what everyone thinks of these guys going into next season. Hope you join us.
Welcome to the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast, where we talk Dynasty Fantasy Football, fantasy rankings, and everything NFL. Join us and dominate your Dynasty league. It's in your DNA. And here's your host, TJ Blake.
Welcome back, DNA Strand crew. Yes, I'm the host of the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast, TJ Blake. You can find me on Twitter at TJBlakeDNA. And as always, we're joined by our show architect and co-host, the A-Train Andy Blake. You can find him on Twitter at A-TrainDNA. What's going on, Ann?
What's going on, man?
Not much. And next, we have Ty Blake. You can find him on Twitter at DynastyDNA. Ty, what's going on, Ty?
What's up, fellas?
Not much. And last but not least, we got the best finger gun dancer here, Muscles Ryan Mail. You can find him on Twitter at DynastyDNA. Muss, what's going on, Muss?
Not too much. How's it going?
Not too much. Not too much. Just so everyone knows, that's what we do during the intro.
We got to give the finger guns to Ty.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a little inside.
That's that's the stuff that people don't see on camera. Now that we're on YouTube, people don't see that stuff. So I just want everyone to know, Ty gets a good dose of that every time.
Well, let's just holster the guns here and put out some good content.
Ty loves the finger guns.
Yeah, he does.
Don't let him fool you.
He does. Well, we're going to jump in here today, fellas, and we're going to do a quarterback safe or not safe. We're going to go over some of these guys. We're going to talk about them, what their status is going into next year. I mean, with the NFL draft on the horizon and this season coming to an end, and, of course, we always know free agency, and you always get some of them big mega trades like the Jared Goff, Matt Stafford deal. So with Superflexes, this is really important to look at these guys, evaluate them, what their situations are, and be ahead for next season.
Yep.
But before we get into the quarterback safe or not safe, we're going over to the breaking news with Muss.
All right, I got Tom Brady undecided about his future. I saw he had that interview. I don't know if you guys saw that, where he said he doesn't effing know, and when he does, he'll let everybody else know. So
yeah, he's kind of, like I said, he's kind of like a wounded animal. He's backed into a corner right now. He's not used to being in this position where he is not like dominant. That's Tom Brady to me.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I don't see him going back to Tampa Bay, but we'll get into that. Bill O'Brien hired as New England's OC. So
another one of Bill's boys coming back to New England.
That's right.
From Alabama.
You got a friend in me.
Yep. Love Dirty Bill and the boys. Tony Pollard broken fibula. He wants to be good to go before training camp. So, and that's a tough blow for him.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man, and like I said, in a non-fantasy type game, like I said, we all love the NFL playoffs. But it just sucks because, like, if you have him rostered, and some people made some bigger trades for him.
Yeah.
That's kind of a deflator going into next year. And didn't you say something about, like, him maybe going under the tag?
Yeah, that was the next thing. Tony Pollard is the favorite to get the tag there. And
he probably lost money because of the injury, so it's a good chance that he'll probably just do it.
Yep, that stinks. I won't get into this too much. Rodgers won't get traded to an NFC team, they came out and said. But we'll go over that later. Evan Ingram and the Jags both won an extension, so that's one of those. It's
good for both parties.
It really is. I mean, this seems like a good fit for Evan Ingram, and
it's the best he's ever looked. I mean, as long as he's healthy, like Andy said, that's the key with Evan Ingram.
Yeah. It was never really a talent issue with him.
It's a health issue, and now that he's with Trevor Lawrence and that offense with Doug Peterson, it's a nice fit.
Yep. CMC's working through a calf injury, and Elijah Mitchell's dealing with a groin injury, so those are both to kind of monitor. I think they're both okay. I think they're both going to play and everything, but
yeah, I seen him kind of stretching his calf and everything. I'm like, man,
yeah,
it's like McCaffrey's just cursed. It just seems like he cannot get through.
So damn good when he plays.
I know.
Oh man, when he's healthy, he's fun to watch.
Yeah. Barkley's eyeing a CMC size contract. I looked it up, $64 million for 4 years with CMC's contract, so that's $16 million a year. He'll probably, I would assume, get it.
It's so hard. It's so hard to pay that to a running back, but the Giants run so much of their offense through him. You know, like they need him, and I think Daniel Jones would need him. But honestly, if Barkley's healthy, if McCaffrey got it, he deserves it. You know?
He does.
Yeah. Mahomes will play. That's not really big news there. The one that got me was Lamar Jackson is involved in the offensive coordinator search for Baltimore, which is
seems like there's a little bribe going on.
Yeah. I mean,
hey Lamar, instead of taking $230 million guaranteed, we'll give you 130, 140, and you get to pick your offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was kind of like, I think that's exactly what's going on. I think Baltimore's kind of
bad fire by Baltimore. They should not have fired.
Kind of lubing them up for the.
Well, and you know what's funny is, like Andy said, that's a bad fire. I agree with you. Like,
it's a bad fire.
I mean, he really tailored that offense around Lamar. A lot of teams couldn't have figured that out. And he put it together, and they were putting up some numbers.
Yeah.
I mean,
they really built the offense around him, and I think he fit Roman's style perfect.
And I think, like you said earlier, I think with Baltimore, it's a defensive problem, which is hard to say because usually their defense is lights out. But
yeah, they had defensive problems. They have no receivers. I mean, Bateman's hurt. They bring in Deshaun Jackson, who's, like a grandfather age.
Yeah, let's look up. How old is he?
And Jim Harbaugh's a problem too. He's
John Harbaugh.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
John, they both suck.
As I say, Jim has problems too. But
36.
Yeah,
36.
So there we go.
That ain't bad.
That's like 50 for a receiver.
Yeah. But the sad thing is he's probably still the best wide receiver they had on the team.
Yeah.
Besides Andrews, which he's tight end. You could say what you want.
Right. Yeah, who else did they have?
DeMarcus Robinson.
Likely. I wish they would have used Likely more in the slot.
Yeah.
I thought they would have.
Surprised they didn't.
I know.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
So we got the divisional round playoffs to go over here. We got KC taking down Jacksonville 27-20. We had Mahomes obviously exiting and coming back. That was the big news of that game.
And I'll give Jacksonville a ton of credit.
Yeah.
They played hard, and they were right in it to the end. They gave Kansas City a run for their money.
Oh, they did. They did. We got the next game, Philly taking down the Giants 38-7. That was
ugly.
That was unfortunately ugly.
And of course they smacked down me and Andy. I wanted to believe for Andy too, that the Giants would win.
It still was a really good season though for the Giants.
Yeah, definitely was. They stayed healthy for the most part. You get Daniel Jones, a couple weapons. He's doing all right.
Very promising.
I saw that meme. Joe Judge. It had everybody who's like, oh, yeah, look at Doug Peterson turning around the Jacksonville Jaguars really makes Urban Meyer look bad. And then it said, like, Joe Judge, like, in the corner standing there. Like
he's in the back of the bar.
Yeah, like, oh, nobody brings me up. But
it's like the one with Squidward looking through the window.
Yeah.
Joe Judge is trash.
Yeah. So the quote-unquote upset of the week, Bengals taking down Buffalo 27-10. So that was kind of an upset to me.
Especially in that fashion too. I mean, they beat them by 17 points.
Yeah.
And Buffalo was at home in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
You would have liked to thought Buffalo, that was kind of like their setting, it was their game, but Joe Burrow's the real deal, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Boy, that was such a cool video of him in that snow, just throwing that pass and like turning around.
Yeah, they had one of Justin Fields doing that. And they said,
my God!
So here's the thing: some young fan got a souvenir because I'm sure he missed.
I was laughing because I seen a dude on Twitter. He's like, "If you don't think Justin Fields can throw, check this out." And it's the whole highlight reel was him at Ohio State.
Yeah,
wasn't hardly one throw in Chicago.
Right.
What a joke.
Yeah. You know who else can throw good? Some quarterback that nobody even knows. It's easy to pull up a highlight film. It's the bad things. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
People don't understand that. They grab a little clip, and then if you're wrong, they call you a clown.
Yeah, I remember Nathan Peterman threw a couple nice passes in college. You know it. I see Nathan Peterman threw a couple nice passes in college, too.
You know who else looked good in college? Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Ty loves Justin Fields.
Yeah, bull.
But did you guys see Diggs clean out his locker?
Yeah, he's a baby.
Yeah.
What a baby.
Rough Riders are going to be moving him this year.
He's really getting fed up. He wants to win. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Another drama queen. That's all receivers anymore.
That's just it. It's a position. Like I know, like a lot of people are complaining about George Pickens. It's like, dude, just let it be because you're never going to change it. The receivers are just they're a special breed.
They really are. So we got the 49ers taking down Dallas, 19-12. That was
we figured that. Yeah.
If you were a fan though, of defensive football, that was a game to watch.
Yeah.
San Fran's defense is good.
Was anybody else like like when Marhar went for the extra point? You're like, oh my god! Then they blocked, and I'm like, no.
So I was at work, and I went to first break there, and I checked the score, and I was like, oh my god, he missed the extra point because I obviously just looked at the box score,
right?
You know? And the coworker was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, look." So he looked it up and he goes, "Oh no, it was blocked." I was like, "Oh, thank God."
I know Jerry Jones was really upset about it. Well, was really scared about it, I should say, because pregame he went out in the field and was talking to him. Was asking if he'd be all right, this game, because they had a guy on standby, I think, on the sidelines. So.
I'm sure that helped. Getting a prep talk
Well,
with Jerry Jones.
The 49 there's not enough pills in this world to calm them down.
Can you imagine getting a pep talk by Jerry Jones? I'm sure that helped you.
Yeah, that's what I love when my boss comes over and watches every move that I make. Says, "Hey, you sure you can put that mold in?"
Yeah, because he missed a couple. He missed a couple in warm-ups, and that's why he went over and talked to him.
San Fran was over there standing in front of him and
I've
stuff.
seen that,
Yeah, Trent Williams and somebody went out.
Debo. It was Debo.
Yeah.
I seen that. I thought,
Douchebags.
Douchebags. Picking on the little kicker.
Yeah, picking on the little guy. Big man.
Yeah, I bet they feel tough. So we got conference championships coming up this weekend. We got the Eagles at home against the 49ers. I'm going to go the Eagles on this one. I think 49ers are a complete team. I just think that the Eagles offense, I think, is just going to be too powerful to slow down. And I got the Eagles. Who do you guys got?
Oh, man. Every part of me wants to say the 49ers because I like that team.
I do, too.
I like everything about that team, but I just think the Eagles are going to be too much for them. The experience at quarterback, too. I love Purdy, but coming up against that defense at Philly, that's going to be rough.
It's going to be his biggest challenge yet.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets by Philly, I mean, he might just be the real deal because everything's stacked against him, but I got to go Philly just based off the quarterback situation, and it's going to be close, though. It is going to be close.
Well, as you know, I'm still covered in green bird crap from last week from Philly. But, I got to stick with my pick. I picked San Fran to make the Super Bowl out of the NFC before the playoffs started. I think they're the most complete team. I think the Eagles, if they come out firing like they did against the Giants, they could easily win this game because they are that team, especially when they get a team down. They really put the boots to them. But if San Fran can hold themselves in there, I think they got a real good shot. I know T-Pain's disappointed right now in me, but I got to go with the 49ers. 24-17.
Philly looked so good last week, and I know the Giants' defense isn't anything, like San Fran, but Jalen Hurts was running the ball, throwing real good. And if the 49ers can be beat, it's on the outside.
Yeah.
And they got one of the best outside guys in A.J. Brown. So
it's just, I'm with you. Like if they're able to throw,
yeah,
they'll probably win. If the 49ers, they got to get a pass rush.
Yeah, they got to try to get to him.
They got to get up. They got to get up in his face. If they can't get there, it's probably going to be a long day.
So I'm going to take the Eagles. I think they're going to go, but it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game.
I think as far as coaches go, I think Kyle Shanahan's one of the tops. I mean, if
Nick Sirianni said he knows what the F he's doing if you heard on the sideline.
Yeah. Sorry, YouTube. We're not
allowed.
Yeah, we're not allowed to swear anymore. So.
Yeah. One episode in, and they already took my favorite word away.
Everyone's going to be like, you sold out.
But yeah, I mean, I honestly think Kyle Shanahan, I mean, I hate to count him out, but
I mean, honestly, I think that's what it's going to be. If the Eagles come out and they're able to do what they want to do and oppose their will, they're going to win. If the 49ers can keep them in check and keep it close, I think the 49ers got a really good chance because I do think they got a slight edge in coaching, just slight.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, with their defense, they've been in a lot of close games. They've been here before, so it'll be interesting.
And then Sunday night, we got the Bengals coming into KC to face the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, we got Mahomes going to play and everything like that. But I still think I'm going to go Burrow on this one, the Bengals. So I think, like we talked about, I think the bigger the game, the more Burrow shows up. So I think they're going to go back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, too. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are switching their decision now since Mahomes got hurt. I think even with a healthy Mahomes, I still would pick Cincinnati. They're just a better all-around team because Burrow can match right up with Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes hasn't even proven that he could beat Burrow yet.
Yeah.
He's 0-3 against them. So I'm going to make Mahomes, prove he can beat Joe Burrow. But you look on the outside, Bengals got more weapons. They got the better running back. The only thing that Kansas City's got is obviously the better tight end, but even the defense. The defense is another swinging factor. The Bengals secondary is very, very good. Other than Eli Apple, he sucks.
He's been talking all the shit all week.
I know, and he sucks too. And Kansas City's defense just doesn't do it for me. They're just not good enough. So I think it will be a close game. It's not going to be a blowout, but I think the Bengals are going to go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, every part of me wants to take Kansas City.
I know, me
because
too.
they're at home, and Arrowhead is a place that it's just different, man. They got a lot of help from their crowd. It's really loud there. I mean, and if Patrick Mahomes was healthy, I would take Kansas City. I would, because I think they've got experience just like Cincinnati does. It ain't like they're new to this, but I think with him being hurt, it's just going to be too much for him. I think Cincinnati, like you said, Joe Burrow's looking good right now. They do have trouble against them. Some teams match up better against other teams.
Yeah.
And I think Cincinnati's just got that look in their eye. They're hungry. They were there last year. They didn't finish the job. I think they're going to win. And I think it's going to be like 31-24, 31-28, something like that. But I'm going Cincy.
Yeah, I got to take Cincy here, too. I mean, when you got T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, I mean, it's going to be really hard for them to stop them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Hayden Hurst has stepped up. Joe Mixon's looked really good against Buffalo. So it's going to be a good game, I think. I mean, I hope Mahomes is healthy just for a good game.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he is able to be mobile and stuff, but...
I wish Burrow wasn't a Bengal.
I know.
I know.
Like, that dude's so cool.
I know.
But the scary part about the Bengals is their offensive line starting to keep him clean.
Yeah.
And when you keep him clean, he's going to pick you apart.
I think there's a team in Pittsburgh that needs to take some notes about getting some offensive linemen.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I got to go Cincinnati here. It's going to be close, but let's just see.
Right?
It's going to be a good game. So
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
it'll be crazy to see Eagles and Bengals Super Bowl.
God, that would be disgusting. I
Yeah.
probably won't even watch.
Or we could see 49ers Bengals Super Bowl, and it would be the third time that they'd meet in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the 49ers win it again. I would.
Yeah, I don't want to see them tie Pittsburgh for rings. That'd be their sixth.
Yeah. Thing is, though, New England's already tied us, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Till we get
It'd be a cool Purdy show, Like,
Yeah,
that'd be cool for him. But
Trey Lance is
well,
probably somewhere in the press box. Trey Lance is probably like, I just hope that this is over.
maybe he'll pull a Hardings and break Purdy's ankles.
I already see him packing his bags. I think they're going to trade Lance.
I think the smart thing would be honestly just to keep him.
Yeah.
Because if Purdy were to come out next year and just somehow fall, which I don't think will happen.
How shitty would it be to be Kyle Shanahan and like Jimmy G is healthy?
Yeah.
'Cause if they lose and whoever he plays is going to be the wrong decision.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know.
You have to play
you
Purdy.
have
You have to play Purdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but like if he would lose at some point, people are going to come.
Well,
out and say,
some
"Oh,
people
The
We're gonna say,
Penguins,
yeah.
the Penguins are in a situation. We had Fleury,
Yeah.
and then what's his name took off.
Matt Murray.
Matt Murray took off.
Yep.
You know, he was just so clutch.
And that's a good point. It's very similar. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like a hockey. You got a hot goalie, you go
Right.
with the hot
Exactly.
goalie.
So
If it ain't
you
broke,
said.
don't fix it.
yeah, and like you said, and he probably will take criticism, but then we're just trolls.
Right.
It
Right.
don't even matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Purdy gets you there, you have to roll with him.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. He's won 2 playoff games
He's
already.
better than Jimmy G in my easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
He's Jimmy G that throws the ball more than 10 yards down the field.
Yep.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So I think that's all we got.
All right, Muss.
Hey, do we want to talk about the Pro Bowl?
No, it's okay.
I'm just kidding.
Now there's a flag football competition going.
That's
flag?
Oh,
flag.
They're bringing back like the competitions, like the throwing competitions.
See, now that's cool.
I do like
I do
that.
like
Yeah,
watching
like
that.
stuff like that.
And as you see, you must have read my mind. I got my flag football shirt on.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
So we're already representing the program.
Is that when we coached or played?
That's when we coached.
Yeah.
But we're going to hop in here. We're going to be going into the quarterback safe or not safe. And we're just going to start with the A train here. We're going to roll right around the table. We're going to start with him first, and I'm going to put the heat on him. We're coming right out of the gate.
Yeah, it is, too.
Derek Carr, safe or not safe going into 2023?
Man, so he's 31 years old. Carr's actually reached out on Twitter and basically said his goodbyes to everybody. So he's gone.
Yep.
And I couldn't believe that they rolled with Stidham like that. Thought that's kind of a dirty move.
Yeah.
Because Carr, I know he's kind of struggled this year, but I don't know. He's still Derek Carr. Like, he's not horrible.
I saw somewhere he put that he has a lot to say, but he's going to wait to say it.
I heard that too because people are really on him about this.
Right.
And he's like, just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
So
I'm really wondering how much dirt he's going to kick out.
I can't wait to hear.
I know, me either.
I wonder if he's going to go like on Dr. Phil or something.
I hate the Raiders.
Days of our lives.
Yeah.
But anyways, he is expected to be traded by February 15th. If not traded, he'll get his $40 million in guarantees, his money and riches and cocaine. And sorry, I shouldn't have said that, YouTube. But anyways, he is expected to get his $40 million in guarantees by then. He has a no trade clause, so he does have a place to say where he goes. So if it's somewhere he doesn't want to go, say the Texans, then he's not going to go there. But what I expect is going to happen, if they don't get a trade done, they're going to release him. I think that's what's going to happen because his contract's huge.
Right.
So if he gets released and then somebody's going to pick him up, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. His dead cap hit, it's only $5.6 million. So if they do that, it's not like it's big in the books, nothing bad. So he hits some markets. Some of the teams that I think he can go to are going to be the Colts, the Jets, Carolina, and a dark horse, I think, is possibly New England.
Who would you say the favorite is in your opinion? Like if someone's going to make a trade, who would your gut tell you?
Actually, it's not even one of these teams.
Oh, really?
Yes. The
That's
destination I believe he's going to go is going to be the Washington Commanders.
That's a good one.
I remember you saying it to me. I like that. That's kind of low-key under the radar.
I think it is, too. Washington has $7 million cap. It's 18th in the league right now. They can easily make it happen with a couple cuts.
Yeah.
They can maybe get him on a prove-it deal. Maybe they sign him to like a 3-year deal. Carr's not going to get the money that he once, was going to get. And he knows this, too. They were a borderline playoff team last year. Ron Rivera, we know he's in the hot seat, so I don't see a rebuild. They do got young stars like McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuels really stepped up. So
Yeah.
they got both the running backs in Gibson and Robinson, who's, showed to be okay.
And Ron Rivera would probably prefer a veteran quarterback.
And that's exactly my next point here. Sam Howell looked okay, but being a borderline playoff team, Carr would be the better option to get them over that hump. So I feel like that's where they could roll. Now, this is complete speculation, and I don't see anything on the internet suggesting this, but I just feel like this is a Washington move.
Yeah.
It's something. They're not up there to get a quarterback. What can they really trade to go up and get a guy? And if you got a guy like Will Levis, who I think is going to go high,
real high,
Anthony Richardson, who might not go as high, but I mean, really, what are you getting in Richardson to go to the playoffs? I mean, he has a high ceiling, but that's years of,
And he's training with Malik Willis.
Oh, there we go. So that's not somebody I'd want to try. Well, I mean,
hey, that's iron sharpening iron.
Josh McDaniels, I mean, he's doing the same thing he did in Denver, trading their star quarterback. And he's probably going to trade. I would say if that happens, they're probably going to go into a rebuild, and then he'll get fired.
Yeah, and he'll go back to a coordinator role, probably in New England.
Or there could be someone going there, and we might get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, that's something for later news here. But that's what I think happens. So if he goes to Washington, I call him ultimately safe.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot for him. He's get them young wide receivers who showed promise. And it's a little bit better of an offense. Even though I'm not the biggest Ron Rivera fan, I mean, I think he can make ways for it to work.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
I don't think he's going to be some crazy like quarterback one, but right around that quarterback two, mid-range, maybe high end at certain times. we seen what Carson Wentz did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It's actually really impressive. So
Yeah, and I like that. Like when you said Washington, I thought, boy, that is a move I could see them making. And like you said, it's all speculation. But like you look at the Colts, like I think they're done dipping their toes into these veteran quarterbacks.
Me too.
So you can take them off the list. Atlanta maybe, but I mean they got a higher pick too, don't they?
yeah, they got a higher pick too.
So I mean, like they could get their hands possibly on somebody. Chicago ain't going to give up on Fields quite yet.
Right.
So it just makes sense to me. I think that's a good landing spot.
That's a dark horse.
Yeah.
Even Heineke showed success there.
Yeah.
And Derek Carr is a lot better than Taylor Heineke. So,
Right.
yeah, I like that spot. Normally, you'd say a quarterback going to Washington, you'd be like, oh,
So you think safe then going into
I
next
like
year?
Yeah, I'm gonna say safe.
Safe. Okay. I really like it. Derek Carr's an interesting one. It was nice to get started with him right off the bat. But now that you went for a curveball, I'm going to go for just a fastball down the middle. I'm going to go with my safe or not safe quarterback one choice, Andy Dalton, quarterback New Orleans Saints / Dallas Cowboys / Cincinnati Bengals. He's been everywhere, 35 years old, just a complete journeyman in the league. I do think that he's going to probably have a job as a backup somewhere. But if you're counting on him as anything other than just like a third, fourth quarterback option just to have depth in the Superflex league,
Yeah.
I mean, he's just not safe. If you can get anything for him, anything at all,
Oh yeah.
a fourth, fifth round pick, I mean, if someone's willing to give you that just to get another guy, I would definitely take it in a heartbeat. So this was just an easy one we wanted to get out there. I mean, he started this year.
Right.
The Saints is another team. They could do something, but they got so much cap issues.
Yeah, they're last in the league, and they're like 50 mil in the hole.
And I'm sorry, like as bad as Andy Dalton played this year, I mean, even if they have him and Jameis Winston back next year, the fans are going to be getting fed up with seeing Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to change something out. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't see him. Even if he starts opening day, which I think the odds are slim because they'll do something different, I think.
Agree.
But even if he starts opening day, his days are numbered because he comes out and plays like he did this season right out of the gate. He's out of there. I mean, either Jameis, someone's going to get an opportunity.
Right. And it
So-
could be a late round guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Max Dugan or something. Maybe they draft him in the later round, the guy out of TCU.
Take a chance on him.
Yeah.
You just never know. I mean, and that's just it. The fans are going to be at that point. It's like, well, we don't want to see Andy Dalton anymore.
No, especially knowing you're going to lose and you already traded your freaking first round pick to Philly.
Yeah.
That made a lot
I'd
of
be
sense.
trading Cam Jordan. I'd be trading Alvin Kamara. I'd be trading all these guys.
The Saints are at the point where, like, there's the blow-up button. Just
Yeah.
press it. Just
Yeah.
press it and get it over
Burn
with.
it down.
Yep, and start from the studs.
and I would be trading Sean Payton to try to get, if you could.
And I just seen a report today. They said he's probably going back to TV.
I seen that too.
Yeah.
So-
I seen that too.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But Andy Dalton, not safe. If I could get anything for this guy, anything at all, I would take it and run and be a thief in the night.
Yep.
We're going to go over to Ty. We're going to put some pressure on. We're going to the Big Apple with Ty.
Oh, boy.
And we're going to go with Mike White. Safe or not safe?
Hey, we went to high school with him.
That's right.
I mean, I think he's safe as like a standpoint of like a backup quarterback in New York. I think he's earned the backup role there next year. He's not going to be a starter, but the guy, he's a different kind of player. He just goes out there and he just throws the ball. He doesn't really care. He just guns the ball down the field. And he's just a decent starting quarterback in this league. So
For someone, he is a free agent.
is he?
Yeah.
I could see Jets maybe re-signing
Oh,
him
yeah, I could.
Yeah,
too.
I think that would be a good.
to a backup role because he's shown a couple different times this season that he's just a decent backup quarterback in the league. And I think there was even reports starting out the season that they liked him more than Zach Wilson coming out of camp, but they didn't want to start him right away. So, if you have a roster spot, you can just keep him on your bench. I think it'd be just a safe option to be a backup role in New York.
It's just someone you just don't go out and acquire.
No, exactly. But I'm saying,
If you already have them, like,
right,
yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Hold on.
And I agree with you. I think the Jets will bring him back. Like, he's got a home there.
Yeah.
Like, they like him. He likes being there, it seems
Yeah,
like.
I don't think it's going to take a whole lot to re-sign him.
No.
He's not even really a safe or not safe. He's just if you have him hold.
Yeah.
It's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just it. And that's like, keep it in perspective. Like, and that's something to watch, though. It's like, I hope he stays with the Jets.
Yeah, me too.
Because it just seems like he fits them, they fit him. Everything's all kosher.
Yeah, you hate for him to go somewhere else and just get lost.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
never see him again.
Yeah, be a footnote in history.
And when I say hold, like, he's probably not real fantasy relevant, but, like, if you are in a 2-quarterback league and guys go down, hey, you know, you might need to use him in a spot.
Yeah.
I had to use him.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't really work out, but the way I wanted it to work out.
It's nice when you have somebody, though.
Yeah, at least I got something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, like, if you're in a super flex league and you have Mike White, just hold on to him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because he might play some games again for the Jets next year if he re-signs.
Now, I would trade him for a second-round pick or something.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You're not getting that.
No.
Like,
No.
Somebody's going to try to get him in a throw-in or a third or fourth.
Would you trade him for a third?
Yes.
I would.
I would trade him for
I
a
would.
third.
I
I would
would
trade him
too.
for a third.
It would.
Had to kind of think about the class
I did
coming up. But
too.
yeah, the class
Yeah.
is real deep. I'd trade him.
Yeah, if you get like a third, I think the third's like the cap.
But I don't think anybody's even giving you a third.
No, but like a third would be like the cap. You
Yeah.
know? So like if you could get that, or like you said, even in a throw-in deal, if you could sweeten the pot a little bit, always something to know. But we're going to go over to Muss here, and we're going to stay in the Big Apple.
Oh, boy.
For now, anyway. And it's going to be Zach Wilson, Muss. The BYU product, safe or not safe?
Yeah, see, I mean, he's a tough one because, I mean, he's got high draft capital.
Right.
He's number 2 overall pick. So, like, somebody somewhere saw something. I mean, even though it was the Jets, somebody saw something in him that, you know, obviously has more experience looking at stuff than we do. But he definitely just needs to be humbled. And I saw on the Pat McAfee show, for some odd reason, Aaron Rodgers was asked about Zach Wilson.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers said the same thing. Like, he has talent. He just needs to be humbled. And, you know, he said, we've all been there, everything like that. My optimal thing for him is he's probably not, I think the Jets said they're done with him.
They said that, but wonder. I mean, they got they're getting a new offensive coordinator now.
I know. So, like, my thing is like, does Aaron Rodgers come to the Jets? And maybe
We'll talk about that.
and maybe Wilson. I'd like to see a good. I would hate to see him learn from Rodgers because I think Rodgers is a douchebag too.
But he does know football.
He does know football. But like, my optimal thing for him would be to be a backup to a really good a really good quarterback, humble him a little bit. Another thing is, this New York media, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and the media hates Wilson right now. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I'd look at it from a Pirates fan. You saw with A.J. Burnett. A.J. Burnett was one of the toughest SOBs out there.
Right.
And he hated the New York media.
Yeah.
New York media hated him, and they ate him alive. And he said he'll never go back there. He said they could pay him $100 million a year, and he would never go back to New York.
Right.
And, I mean, he had tough skin. So, I mean, for, you know, Zach Wilson.
Right.
You know, I would, if it were me, I think in a Dynasty super flex, 2-quarterback, whatever, I'm honestly buying low on him, but not right now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think in a year from now, maybe not even a year from now, next season or something, I think I buy low. But I think he might have a future someday, but it's just not going to be for a year or two.
Right.
So you're holding off for now, but
I'm holding.
You're holding out hope for later.
You're not selling.
I'm not selling.
Yeah.
I think I'm holding / buying, but I don't think I'm buying right now.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is avoid selling too low. Mm-hmm. You know,
I think that's what I'm doing with him.
You know, and I just thought of this scenario. I think the worst thing for Zach Wilson would be, and this just popped into my head, what if there's a deal like from the Raiders to trade Derek Carr to the Jets and they get Zach Wilson back in exchange, or you know what I mean? Then he starts and they thrust him in there. Like, I'm just saying, like, that would be like, because I'm like you, I'd rather see him back up somebody.
Yeah, I would too. And even the receivers there don't really have experience. Like, Elijah Moore is super young. Garrett Wilson, this was his rookie season. Corey Davis has been at the best. So, like, it'd be nice even if he would have had, like, a Hopkins, like, hey, man, I'm doing this.
Right.
You need to look here. Or
Yeah.
certain things that somebody can help guide him, because I agree with you. I think this talent's there, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, the talent's there. He just needs somebody to help guide him, humble him.
He has the talent around him, but everybody around him's young too.
Yeah, Breece Hall's even a rookie.
Yeah, I mean Elijah Moore's young. Garrett Wilson's young.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he needs some kind of veteran guy that says, "Hey, man, get your head out of your ass." And
yeah, because even
Mahomes
had that with Alex Smith coming in.
Yeah.
And Alex Smith was a pro's pro. I mean,
I think he's going to be a coach at some point, and I think he's going to be a damn good one.
Oh yeah. So. That's my optimal outcome for Zach Wilson. And like I said, I mean, I think if that happens, I think in 2 years, he could be.
What a resurgence.
Yeah.
Just hold on to him. And
I like it.
Just hold on to him. Don't sell too low.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to go over to the train here. It's going to be his number 2 quarterback on the safe or not safe list. And it's going to be a real interesting one. I'm anxious to see what you think of this one. Same team we mentioned earlier. Sam Howell, quarterback, safe or not safe?
Well, Sam Howell, he's 22 years old. He looked good on his debut, Week 18 against the Cowboys. Can't take that away from him. He lacks a little bit in size. He's 6'1", but he is pretty mobile. 5th-round pick out of North Carolina. And he was somebody that looked pretty good at North Carolina. Like, at one point, like TJ said, I don't know if it was in another show, that it was possibly a first-round pick at one point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of surprising to see him go that late, but I think that with the size and everything, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for him to get a starting job in Washington. So let's say they bring in, which I've said about Carr coming into town, that would just, Carr's better than him. But let's say they bring in like a Brissett or a Baker Mayfield or something. He'll need to have a good camp, a really good preseason, and I feel like everything's against him.
Well, like you said, Ann, just chiming in real quick, you even said that Ron Rivera's on the hot seat. Is he really going to put his job on the line with Sam Howell?
Yeah, a 5th-round pick.
Right.
I mean, that's not really where I'd want to put my chips. So let's say, and they're interviewing an offensive coordinator. So who's it going to be?
Right.
At the moment, I feel like he's probably less than a 50% chance of being that guy. And even if he is that guy, is he really that good?
Right.
Like, he had one good game against Dallas, which Dallas is good, but Dallas really had nothing to play for.
Right.
And you give him credit, young guy. He stepped there and played well, but I'm like you, was Dallas sleepwalking?
Yeah, so here's my thing. I don't think the starter's on this team. Even if it's not Derek Carr, I think they bring in somebody else, maybe even draft a guy. I just don't. Sam Howell, everything's looking bad against him. I'm going to say not safe.
Yeah.
If I have him, I'm taking this hype and I'm just moving him.
Okay.
Can you get a 2nd-round pick, a 3rd-round pick? I'm just kind of out.
Would you take a 3rd?
I would take a high to mid-3rd.
Yeah.
Late 3rd, I think I'd just use the other 50% and just gamble on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anywhere from like 6 to 1 in the 3rd round, you take.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Yeah, definitely, and that's just it, like you said, and that makes a lot of sense. You got to like read between the lines, like in what Ty said, Ron Rivera being on the hot seat, and Andy, you hit it on the head. You're going to really trust a guy that's a 5th-round pick? I mean, it could work out.
Yeah,
but it's like, boy, you're taking a big risk.
And like we're saying, like with Brock Purdy and stuff, but he has Kyle Shanahan,
right?
Like he has elite options around him.
And
Kyle don't.
And Washington ain't really known for their structure.
No. Not at all.
Not at all. Well, I really like that you went over that one too, Ann, because there was a lot of hype with him going into the end of the season here. So it's kind of nice to be ahead of it if you can be. And like I said, see where everyone's at on him and to see what you value him at.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said with Carr, though, if he goes there, they got them good wide receivers and stuff, but like it's more for pocket passing, and that's not really Howell's game.
Right.
You're going to have to move him out of the pocket because when you're only 6 foot, not saying I'm 5'10" or 5'10" on a good day. So you got to move him around, try to get them open windows. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm just not really all about Howell.
Definitely. Good one to go over. We're going to go over to me here, and this one's going to be a little bit tougher too. It's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. Safe or not safe? Jimmy G, boy, I'll tell you, man, what a logjam at quarterback San Francisco has. A lot of teams would like to have that problem, but let's just say it is like it is with Brock Purdy's emergence. All of the capital they spent on Trey Lance, I think Jimmy G's days in San Fran are over. He's on his way out. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is really tough for me because he's going to get an opportunity somewhere. I mean, you look at someone like New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe Houston, if they, for a bridge, or, they bring, if they can't get the guy they want, do they roll with him for a year or two? See what he.
Arizona.
I was just thinking
Arizona?
that too with Murray.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I say Jimmy G's safe. I say Jimmy G's safe. Honestly, in a super flex league, I would pay probably about a mid-second round pick for him, and I'd feel good about it because the thing is, he's gonna you look at some of these guys. Look at Andy Dalton. Yeah. We just mentioned him. He got all these opportunities for years. I mean, he's held value.
Yeah.
So Jimmy G, to me, it would be that type of guy. Like, I could trade a mid-second for him if I'm a contender in a super flex league, and I'll feel good about it because if he goes somewhere else, he's going to play. And then, okay, maybe it don't work out there. Teddy Bridgewater's another one.
Yeah.
I mean, look how many teams he's been on.
Yeah.
So Jimmy G, I can see in that light, and I think he's better than them guys.
And I'd love to move like Howell for him.
Yeah, that'd be a great move.
Use everybody saying that he's going to be the starter to that'd be a fantastic move.
That's a great move.
Yeah, and that's just something to keep in mind. Like, if you're a contender and someone has Jimmy G, try offering up like a mid-second or, like you said, like a Sam Howell or someone like that if you have it. Because to me, I think you're going to get a really nice value.
Yeah, I do too.
So, I mean, I would go with Jimmy G. I feel good about it. How you guys feel about him?
Yeah. I agree.
I think he's a good buy.
Completely agree.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. I think, like you guys, I think the three teams we mentioned are teams to watch: New Orleans, Houston, and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Them all could be really good spots for him. But we're going to go over to Ty here. And Ty, it's going to be another geriatric quarterback. It's going to be Matt Ryan. Safe or not safe?
Yeah, I think we pretty much seen the last of Matt Ryan in the league. So definitely not safe. I think he's going to be on the couch next year because I think he still has one more year on the contract in need, but they're probably going to cut him. Yeah. Surely, because he's making a ton of money. No one's picking that contract up. So,
and if you can save anything, you can save.
Right. So, that's pretty much all I got to say. We've seen what we've seen in Matt Ryan. Had a great career, but I think it's time.
Yeah. I agree.
And if you could, I mean, if there's anyone that would even kick a tire on him, 5th round pick, 4th round pick, just take it and ride off into the sunset.
Reshuffle.
Yep. So some of these are so easy, you got to get them out there because, it's tough decision making on some people. But we're going to go over to Muss here. Muss, it's going to be another fairly easy one. We're going down to Houston, going down to Texas. It's going to be Davis Mills. Safe or not safe?
You gunslinging SOB.
You finger dancing gunslinging SOB.
Safe, not safe. Are you asking me or Jerry Mills? I'm going to say I'm going to get out while I can on Davis Mills. I honestly, his best thing would be stay in Houston. And, I mean, they're going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no secret there. I mean, he might be a bridge, maybe start the first 4, 5, 6 weeks until this. If they're going to get Stroud or Young. But he's going to be a backup, probably a career backup after this. I mean, it was
a nice run.
Yeah, it was. It was a nice run, nice story, everything like that. But he's probably going to be a career backup. It might not be a bad backup, but,
So in a situation like you said about Zach Wilson earlier, you're holding, you're not selling too low.
Yeah.
I mean, on him, you're selling for anything? Or would you? What would you cut it out at?
Probably, because even as a starter, I felt like he was probably like quarterback 22 to 27.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like you've seen maybe the ceiling of Davis Mills.
Yeah. I mean, even as a starter, he was only getting that. So I mean, as a backup, I mean, he's probably not. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but. Probably not anything. I mean, if you can get a 3rd rounder, 4th rounder for him,
you take a 4th though. That'd be probably where you cap
probably.
it. 4th round.
Take a 4th.
I think you're right because like a 5th or something. That's just. I mean, I'd rather gamble like Andy said and just hope that maybe he gets an opportunity somewhere.
Yeah.
But like for a 4th, I would feel good.
Yeah,
I would take a 4th. So that was another quick and easy one. We're going to go over to And again here, and a young quarterback, and it's going to be interesting to see how you feel on this one. It's going to be Desmond Ridder, quarterback, Atlanta Falcons. Safe or not safe?
I actually kind of lean a little more safe on Ridder.
Okay.
23 years old, 3rd round pick out of Cincinnati. He started the last 4 games for Atlanta. Did seem to get a little bit better each game. Still nothing crazy. I mean, he's a back-end quarterback too. But Atlanta's in a rebuild. They do have some promising stars like Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Algier even looked pretty good. at times. They have $56 million cap space right now, so that is third in the NFL. So what does kind of scare me with that? Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
That really kind of worries me. Do they make a trade maybe for a guy like Trey Lance? Can they get a discount on him for maybe a first-round pick?
They bring in a Jimmy G.
They bring in Jimmy G. Somebody like that. It does concern me. But even with Jimmy G, I feel like Desmond Ridder and him would be a competition. I think Ridder has showed enough. They have the 8th pick right now in the draft. So without a trade up, I'm sure Stroud and Young are gone. I believe Will Levis is probably gone. We go back to a guy like Anthony Richardson. I mean, he's somebody you're going to have to work with for a while. So yeah. I just feel like that's not really a good spot to take him at 8. I feel like that's kind of high. So more than likely, I feel like Ridder probably has more like a 75% chance to start. So with these young guys like Pitts, who I was mentioning, Drake London, maybe they add somebody. And I feel like that's a pretty good spot for him. He has a good rushing floor as well. So Ritter's a guy that I'm pretty interested in Superflex leagues that I think I would give a mid to a late second for.
Yeah.
And I'd feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's young enough.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And even if it don't work out in Atlanta, he could go somewhere else and get an opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm like you. It's like if they bring in a big name, that's when it's like.
Yeah, and that's just you're trying to avoid them landmines.
Right.
And it could happen, but.
With the age, and I'm like you, I just don't see Atlanta being able to do anything this year too credible.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
I would want to lose and try to get Caleb Williams next year, to be honest.
Right. Like, I don't see them making like a big push to get, someone in the draft. Like, I'm like you, I don't see them giving up that much draft capital. Like, the state of their football team's in.
Right.
They need to rebuild.
Yeah, their defense is trash.
Yeah.
They're horrible and quarterback pressures and everything as well. So I think they go defense with that 8th pick.
Yeah, and I'm like you, like a mid to late second. I don't think you get hurt.
No, and I think that's safe for this year. In the future, we'll see what happens. But
right. But if you need someone, that might be an option that you get fairly cheap.
Yep.
So really like it. We're going to go over to me here, and this one's going to be a little tougher. It's going to be Trey Lance, quarterback for now. San Francisco 49ers, safe or not safe? Boy, I'll tell you, this one's going to be one of the more interesting ones we're going to bring up. I don't know, man. I definitely think he's safe. It's just where does he end up? Because the thing is, he got the high draft capital. So someone's going to give him an opportunity, whether it be the 49ers, whether it be the Falcons, whether it be Houston, somebody, will take a chance on him, give him the opportunity. So, I mean, definitely safe. I would still feel okay giving up a first for him, just because it'd have to be a late first.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't give up a mid, but I just feel like if Purdy takes the 49ers to the Super Bowl, he's definitely going to be the guy there. I mean, he almost has to be, at least to start the season. And even if he's still sitting on the 49ers bench, Trey Lance, if something happens to Purdy, he could possibly play again.
Yeah.
Or they're going to have to ship him out. It's kind of like a Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers situation. I mean, the time will come.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm a good team and I'm picking in a Superflex league and I'm picking from 9 to 12, I'm totally okay with giving up a late first for Trey Lance, just because I know at some point he's going to get to play as a starter on some team. So I would say safe, but I'd really like to see where he ends up. But if someone's willing to sell him, the highest I would give, like I said, would be the 109 to 110.
Right.
And then, I can easily give up 2 seconds. So it's just a matter of seeing. But I mean, the guy, where he was picked and what they gave up to get him,
I know
someone's going to give him a chance, and I think he'll play decent enough to at least give you a couple years of good production. So I would say safe, but like I said, I wouldn't overdo it. I wouldn't some people might get crazy, because I know there's so many people that are so upset about Brock Purdy, the whole Brock Purdy situation. They're like, oh, Trey Lance is still going to start, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's I don't know.
No.
But I look at it with a glass half full. It's he's probably not going to be the guy in San Francisco, but he's got a chance to be the guy somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with giving up a late first if I'm a contender.
Yep.
So I just wanted to see how you guys feel about that. Would you be on board with that?
A late first.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is tough.
I was really on the Lance bandwagon because of Kyle Shanahan.
Me too.
If he would go elsewhere, I don't know.
It scares me. He hasn't played football in 3 years. but his upside is unreal.
Yeah.
That's why I'm okay with taking the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I definitely understand that.
It's a risky move if you do it, but it could damn well pay off.
Yeah.
Right.
It could really pay off.
And it's like, I definitely wouldn't give up a mid to high first. But like I said, a late first, I still feel good because it's like if I got a good team already in place and I haven't really gambled my picks too much, if I need another quarterback, I feel good about that gamble. Like if I have 2 quarterbacks and I'm missing that third guy, like I would feel really good about it. You know, so I think that's kind of keeping it in perspective.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. I mean, if we're taking Will Levis, Anthony Richardson in the first round, where would Trey Lance be?
Yeah.
And with the rushing upside, I mean, look at what Justin Fields is doing. I mean, that holds value.
Yeah.
In fantasy.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, if we're taking Anthony Richardson in the first round, Will Levis,
then you got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are you going to get in the back end of the first?
That's my feelings on it. So that's why
that's a good point.
So but I think that's why it's good to get it out there. Like I feel like if you can make that move, just make it. I mean, if you need a quarterback 1.9 to 112, I think that's a good one for you because you're not going to find someone with the ceiling like that. I mean, that's a really good pickup.
Yeah.
So really interesting. Like I said, I was really excited to get him out there and see how everyone felt because that one's a real head scratcher.
Yeah.
The whole 49ers quarterback room's a whole head scratcher right now. Jimmy G's the third quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go over to Ty here. Ty, it's going to be another young gunslinger. It's going to be Mac Jones, quarterback, New England Patriots. Safe or not safe? Going up to New England with Bill and the boys.
Yeah, this one's a little bit tougher, but I still say safe, and that's just because I really like how they just brought in Bill O'Brien. That really I think is going to be beneficial for him. And actually, like the back half of the season, especially in the last couple of games, he started to look pretty good. So I'm starting to believe a little bit in Mac. Normally I'm not, but I think like as the years go on, he's going to keep getting better and better and better. He's not elite quarterback or anything, but I think he's just good enough.
Need to get him some help.
They
Could you
really
see
need
New
him
England
help.
bringing anybody in?
What's that?
Could you see New England bringing anybody in?
Yeah. I think Belichick's getting a little. Well, are you saying at the quarterback position?
Quarterback position.
The only one I think they would be interested in is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, I could see Jimmy Garoppolo having a reunion in New England.
Just because of the connection. Now, I don't know, though. I mean, New England, they were, one game away from making the playoffs?
That's what I mean. So if they brought in a guy and Bill's getting older.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time we're overthinking it. They have so much cap room, though.
Yeah,
they have a ton of cap.
They need to help him out at the receiver position.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think the smart thing to do would to bring in maybe like a T. Higgins if he were to hit the market or something. They got to bring him in some help because like he can't run.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he throws a good ball, but he has no like capability of being outside of the pocket.
He fits their system, like you said. He's like that game managing quarterback, but you got to give him something to manage with.
Yeah.
Right.
They overdrafted Tyquan Thornton, who I don't mind, but damn, they took him high.
And it's like, I think the Jimmy G thing would be interesting, but it's like, okay, you got Mac Jones, you got Bailey Zappi. How much more of an upgrade do you think? I mean, like, I think it would be a little bit, but it's like, is it worth it?
Yeah, exactly. And the big thing is they didn't really have an offensive coordinator last season.
Right.
And
Matt Patricia.
Yeah, like they just really didn't. And he even showed frustration, Mac Jones did, like with this offense, because I can't remember. It was on a podcast. He reached out to somebody, and it actually pissed Belichick off. And he said that's why, they kind of rolled out Bailey Zappi for a little bit. So
you break the team rules, you're in trouble.
Yeah. So but they did ultimately go back. And I think it's good that Mac Jones did speak his opinion and brought it out there and said, hey, I'm frustrated.
Yeah, just seeing that Bill O'Brien hire, it just kind of, to me, it kind of proves that, and this is his year. Like, this is his prove-it year for them. I think they're going to go out and get him a couple receivers, and this is going to be his year. So, hopefully he does well. I don't know, though. We'll see.
Yeah, we will. But I'd lean a little more safe. He's young enough.
First round pick.
But it ain't very safe.
If they were to bring in a guy, like I'd rather bring in like Carr or Rodgers or somebody that's a little bit shorter lifespan in the NFL. And
would you give up a second for him?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
I mean,
I'd feel real confident
because I think
about it.
that's the best you can get. Like, I mean, you're not getting a first.
No.
But I mean, a second.
Yep.
I think I'd be okay with it as young as he is.
Yep.
So, and I'll tell you, man, the last couple games he did play better. I mean, down the stretch, I ripped on him kind of all season long during the start-sit show. Yeah. And then he slowly, the last 3 games kind of put it together a little more.
Yeah, he did.
It'll be interesting. We're going to go over to Muss here. Muss, this is one of our personal favorites here. We're going up to Dan Campbell territory, up Detroit.
Uh-oh.
Jared Goff, safe or not safe?
See, I'm going to go safe on Jared Goff.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to call anybody out, but like when I see a mock draft, and I see Detroit getting a quarterback,
you just don't even look anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. Like Jared Goff was like top 7 in every quarterback statistical, like important statistical, statistics.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Statistical statistics.
Yeah,
statistics.
Yeah, exactly.
Say that 3 times.
Yeah, analytically, I guess. Look at me sounding smart. But
calm down, Mike Tomlin.
Obviously,
throwing out some big words here.
That's right. I mean, obviously, he was no. But and then the GM came out and said it'll be easier to get worse than to get better than Jared Goff.
Oh yeah,
and I mean he's absolutely right. And I mean they're gonna get Williams. And their defense. I kind of go back and forth on that because I think their defense is what helped Jared Goff. Because I mean they were
me too. Because they were so bad. They put them in shootout situations.
Put them in shootout situations. But maybe they do get Bijan and DeAndre Swift for a full year.
They'll re-sign Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams said he wants to stay in Detroit.
Yeah.
So maybe that gives the Bijan pipe dream out, but
yeah,
they could run 3 backs.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
It'd be like this. The wishbone formation.
No, they gotta go defense. Their defense is awful.
Yeah. Bijan would be off my 101 board.
Would he?
I don't know, but anyway, I think he's safe. I mean, you do got to take into consideration his age and everything, but I think he's going to get Jameson Williams, and he's got St. Brown. Maybe he gets an upgrade at tight end, and like I said, Swift is a great pass catcher.
Yeah,
maybe a full year out of Swift. I think he could even get better next year.
Yeah, and he fits Detroit. Dan Campbell likes him. I mean, you got to remember, Dan Campbell specifically brought him in.
Yeah.
So he was on board with the trade for Stafford. And really, I mean, hey, the Detroit Lions, if Seattle would have dumped their game, they would have been in the playoffs because, they went into Green Bay, beat a hot Green Bay team that really wanted to do something. I mean, so they're on, like I said, they're kind of, I think, like you guys said, the defense helped Jared Goff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, he might not get as many opportunities, but like if their team gets better, he's still going to be playing winning football, and he's going to keep them in games. And I mean, he's still going to get maybe not the points you got this year, but he still could finish quarterback 2 for you fairly easy.
Yeah.
And be a solid player. So
only 28 years old.
As a contender, I'm all about buying him because
what would you pay?
I'd pay a late first.
Yeah,
that's what
I would too.
I honestly don't even think you'd have to pay that. Like, I think if
I don't either.
I don't know how you. I mean, obviously, if you're a contender, you don't have an early second. But like, I honestly think if you're on the board, like between 201, 205, you might be able to dangle that in a third and even get him.
I think he's got to be almost one of the most underrated players.
Yeah,
he just threw for almost 4,500 yards, 29 touchdowns.
As far as quarterback goes, I think he is one of the most underrated fantasy quarterbacks.
You just forget about him up there in Detroit.
You really do, yeah.
Even looking at his career stats, he's been really good throughout his career. I mean, he's had 4,000 passing yards, and his other 4 seasons, he was close to hitting 4,000 in 3 of the 4. So he's real deal.
Yeah, definitely. I would be okay with a late first, early second. Like you said, no problem.
Yeah.
And I think he's safe. All these people that say they're going to get a quarterback, they're crazy.
Yeah, he's going to be spearheaded by Amon St. Brown and Jameson Williams.
And their 3 running backs.
Hey, don't forget Chark.
And Chark's, I think,
he'll be a free agent.
No, they're going to get him back. Don't worry.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go over to end here. This one's going to get real interesting. Brock Purdy, quarterback, San Francisco 49ers. Purdy mouth. Safe or not safe?
I think he's safe. I really do.
Yeah.
23 years old. Mr. Irrelevant has looked phenomenal in this offense. Just beat Dallas in the NFC title game. He's won him 8 straight games, guys. He's going to go into Philly. That's going to be his next battle.
Yeah, I seen that meme with the Grim Reaper, and it had Brock Purdy's face on it. And it's like it's holding the sickle.
Yeah. Is he like going to the doors?
Yeah,
the one at the other doors. Yeah.
I seen another good one where it had Purdy. He was like a dad, and it had his face, and it had Dak Prescott on his shoulders, like a smiling.
You got to be happy for the kid.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, for sure.
You do. Well, his stats weren't crazy in that Dallas game, as I mentioned earlier, but he made some key throws. That one to Kittle, man, he put it on a rope. And what I liked about Shanahan is they should have been running the ball, and he was still throwing. He believed in Purdy enough to, make smart decisions. He outplayed Dak. I mean, Dak turned the ball over a couple times in the red zone. So everyone's saying if they win the Super Bowl, he can't go away. I think he's already the starter.
I do too.
I think he's already solidified it.
Yep.
I don't really care about the capital anymore. I still think Lance has a huge upside, but I think Purdy's their guy.
Yeah.
So Lance has really only played 3 NFL games so far, and I think they'll take that into consideration. Purdy, Jimmy G throws the ball more than 10 yards.
That's what you always say.
I always say that, and I heard that on another podcast. I wish I could shout it out because I can't even remember, but I was like, damn, I mean, you're completely right.
Yeah.
He's somebody that'll take his shots, and he'll take what's given to him.
And he takes care of the football too.
He does, and that's what I love about him, and that's what's going to keep you a job in the NFL. So don't sell low on Purdy. I know he's a waiver wire guy. Somebody might even dangle the 201, early second. Don't fall for that. Keep him.
What would you pay?
I would pay easily a late first.
I was going to say, yeah.
I would gamble it right away.
Especially with all them weapons.
Yes.
Oh,
and it
goodness.
seems weird to me, but like he breathed life into them. Like George Kittle seemed like he's having fun, and like Debo's feeling it. I mean, like I don't know, man. It's just something about him, and that's why I picked the 49ers because
Big cock Brock, man.
Can we say that on YouTube?
Oh, sorry.
You just
That's the second C word I said it's probably going to get blurred.
you're gonna get blurred. But no. Honestly though, like the team has responded.
Oh yeah,
you can see it. They got momentum. They're going to be a tough out. Philly could win this game, like I said, but they're going to be a tough out.
Did you hear that Kittle interview with him and Purdy with I forget the woman reporter? I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I seen it.
Where she's like, "Okay, go have fun now, Kittle." He's like,
Yeah. Dude, he has a Joker tattoo on his arm.
know,
I'm like,
I love
damn.
I love Kittle other than
Me
the
too.
man bun. I wish he did have a man bun.
But the funny thing is though, like you didn't hear anything from him really until like middle end of the season.
Yeah.
He started like coming alive.
Yeah, he did.
And Purdy brought the best out of him, man. I mean, he really has. Like he brought him back to being George Kittle again.
Yeah, he did.
So it'll be interesting. But I'm like you, late first. I'm okay with it. I mean, it's crazy, but that shows you why you pick quarterbacks and superflex drafts.
Yep.
If you would have got him late 4th, 5th round, boy, look at what you could have turned around and sold him for.
What a job by San Fran, though. Like, they totally redeemed himself after all them picks for Lance. And I still, to this day, believe Mac Jones was a pick, and the media scared him out of it. I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yep.
And I'm just glad the Steelers took Chris Oladokin
Yeah, that was a good one.
in the 7th round
Oh,
over Brock
yeah.
Purdy. But now another thing to add on too is I just seen Shanahan said he's the most calm rookie he's ever been around. And any position, not just quarterback. He said the guy is just calm. I mean, he's not even nervous about this game coming up, going into Philly, NFC Championship game.
And like I said, when I watched Iowa State film, like, he was not that good. Like, he was just okay. I didn't even want to say he was okay. He sucked. I thought he sucked.
That's why he's a 7th round pick.
Yeah. I mean, it's Mr. Irrelevant, but
but the one guy said it best. You put Brock Purdy on the Colts,
yeah.
it's probably not the same.
The Browns.
Well, it's definitely not the same because, I mean, look at the people. But, I mean, the experience he's going to build up, he's going to get better and better.
Yeah,
But
he
my
is.
goodness, the targets he's got, though, it's a
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah,
It really
it
is.
He's in an
off
off.
with Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in an offense that fits him, and he's got all the things you could want as a young quarterback.
Yep.
But that's going to do that one. And we're going to go over to me here. And this is going to be another slam dunk easy one. I'm going to have Sam Darnold. Safe or not safe? Old Sam McDonald. Well, no, I would say he's not safe.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Sam Darnold, when he got traded from the Jets,
Yeah.
I thought, like, okay, maybe he can do something. Maybe, like Musk said, get out of New York.
Yeah.
It can be a toxic
Because
environment.
it was Adam Gase at the time, wasn't it?
I think
I think it was.
I
yeah.
think it was,
so.
too.
I think so. So you think, okay, go to Carolina, maybe get a fresh start. It just really hasn't panned out, man. I mean, he's just not an NFL caliber quarterback. I mean, maybe a backup at best.
Backup, yeah.
Yeah, I think he could be in the league a long time as a backup.
Yep.
I think this is one of them ones, if you have him and you're in a super flex league, especially if you're a contender, you just hold on to him. And you hope that maybe, if someone goes down, you have somebody to play.
Right.
You never know, but I definitely wouldn't buy him for anything. And honestly, no one's really going to out to look for him. So what are you going to get for him?
Yeah.
I mean, really, this is it for Sam Darnold. He's going to be a journeyman backup now for the rest of his career.
Yep.
And if I had him, just hold him. And if injuries happen, you have someone you can plug and play.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Yep.
We're going to go over to Ty here. A little bit of a tougher one. Famous Jameis Winston, Ty. Are you gonna say safe or not safe?
Not safe. I mean, he lost his job to Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think he should have. But
I don't think he should have either, but he did. So just don't really show like the Saints have much confidence in him. I know he's under contract for another year, so I don't know what's going to go on there, the quarterback dilemma. I mean, it's a little too early to tell, but I mean, he's had his time. Again, he's probably just going to be pretty much a backup for the rest of his career. I just don't see him coming in and being a starting quarterback, especially when he's seeing Brock Purdy, a 7th-round pick, being a star. These quarterbacks that are coming in, man, they're just getting better and better and better because it's a passing game.
Yeah.
So,
but this one point, even about like Sam Darnold, which I mean, I think he's, like I said, he's done. But like with Jameis Winston, I mean, would you kids like maybe on the cheap go out and get him for a 4th and 5th? I mean, look what Geno Smith did this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just to gamble it. I mean, if you have a loaded roster, I mean, that just is something to think about.
Because, it is.
Because you don't know. I mean, when these guys get with new coaching, new situations, if they fall into the right place, I mean, it's just something to think about.
Yeah, but this guy's also thrown 30 picks in one season.
Yeah, he
just doesn't take care of the football.
He's reckless.
He did get
abandon.
LASIK though.
Huh?
He did get LASIK.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Then
is he still eating W's?
I'm just saying though.
Was he the crab thief?
Yeah.
I thought that was him.
Stealing crabs. Yeah, he's a disaster.
But in all honesty though, like you look at what Geno did. I mean, all I'm saying is, like, if you're dealing with someone and they got someone like a Sam Darnold or a famous Jameis Winston and, you're making a trade, just get him as a throw-in piece.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it going to hurt? Just say,
Yeah,
hey, just throw him in.
I have him in one league, and I'm just holding. I'm kind of the same way.
Right.
Gonna keep my crabby little fingers on. I forgot all about that. Yeah, he stole crabs.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Who was the one that stole underwear?
Purdy? No,
it was around the Jameis time. I forget who stole the underwear.
Cam Newton.
Was it Newton?
It was like at our TV. I remember that. Remember?
Somebody got caught stealing underwear. It was underwear.
I can't. I can't remember.
Were they? Yeah,
Where'd you read that?
They were dudes' underwear?
Yeah, I think he stole
used?
No.
Oh, I was going to say. We're going around to everybody's fucking freaking clothesline pole and stealing used underwear.
Where did you see that, Bus? The National Enquirer or something?
Roto World.
Oh, that figures.
But yeah, TJ would love to have Jameis Winston. We're just going to conclusion that. He'd love to have him.
No, I never said that. I said if I could get him in a throw-in or something.
And I understand that. And I would too.
I mean, hey, I look at it like this. When I'm trying to trade for anything, if I can get a little bit of something extra, you never know.
Yeah, he would be an okay throw-in piece.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
That's just one where you're trading your first-round pick for something, and someone don't want to, or someone gives it up. Say, like, if there's one that's like, oh yeah, no problem, just say, okay, well, could you just throw that in too?
Yeah,
you never know.
I would just throw in someone else, but that's mind.
Well, you could try for more, but what I'm saying is, that not everyone's going to give you the moon and the stars, someone like that they might take.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just something always
Joseph Randall. Wasn't even a quarterback. I guess.
It wasn't.
That was a running back for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
that's
Randall,
right.
the underwear thief. They got video of him.
Wow.
Some people's kids.
I thought I'd never hear about that again for the rest of my life. Muscles remembered.
We'll bring it up at the Dynasty DNA podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody, all you listeners are welcome for that.
Joseph Randall. Okay, Mus, we're going to go over to you now. And we're going to see if you have any more brain busters here. It's going to be Geno Smith.
Okay.
Safe or not safe? This one will be interesting.
Yeah. This one's kind of tough. Ian Rappaport's reporting that he is staying in Seattle, even if he has to play under the tag.
That's good news.
Yeah, and Seattle does have Denver's pick, which did worry me. But I guess if he's staying, they probably aren't going to take a quarterback. Like, I thought they would leverage Geno as far as that goes. Like, be like, why would we pay Geno if we could just draft a C.J. Stroud or,
A Bryce Young.
Like, but seems like he wants to stay in Seattle. And honestly, if he's found a home in Seattle, and I mean, it seemed to be a good fit, like, but he is getting older, and Lockett's getting older, and I don't know what Lockett's status is. I feel like he's a free agent next year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
And I think he really relies on Lockett, so that kind of worries me. But I mean, they could get him other receiver help.
Yeah.
I mean, that's down the road.
They got a couple first-round picks.
Yeah.
They might even take receiver in a second. Like, I mean, what if they took, like, if Hyatt's there?
Yeah.
Or Rasheed Wright, or, somebody like that.
Yeah, they could. So, I mean, the only thing that worries me with Geno is his age. I mean, I don't think his rushing upside's really there anyway, but...
How old is he, 31?
I think he's 31, 32.
Which still isn't horrible.
No.
I mean, 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean, a 3-year window if you're, a competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, his contract's kind of wacky. I don't know. He says like he signed through 2025. He have a potential out at 2024.
Okay.
It's weird.
So
it's like for the dead cap.
Okay.
It's some sort of, jibber jabberish. But
Yeah. Well, it's interesting with Geno. Like, if he's staying in Seattle, I feel a lot better about it.
I do too.
That system fits him, and that's where he needs to be.
And that's where he found a home.
Yeah, and when Geno talks, you can tell, like, nobody really ever believed in him.
Right.
So he's like, these guys believe in me. They gave me a chance. So I think that's why he would play on the tag, because finally, out of all these teams, somebody believed in him.
Yeah. Yep.
And now if they don't take a quarterback with that pick, that shows even more.
Right.
So, I mean, that's great for him. And I think that he'll really thrive there for another year or two.
Yeah.
Would you pay a late first for him?
I wouldn't.
No.
That's what scares me.
See, I do like it. Like I said, I do like that he's staying in Seattle, and that makes me feel a lot better if you are a Geno owner.
Yeah.
I would hate to see him hit the market and go to,
I would still pay a second, though.
I would definitely pay a second.
I would love to pay. I would love to pay like Howell in a second or something. Like somebody that still believes in.
Right.
I'm always going to go back to Howell.
Right.
Or maybe Jameis Winston, somebody that Ty doesn't believe in.
Yeah, that's right. Jameis Winston for a second.
He was the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he also has never really panned out.
You could also get a second and a third would be good.
Yeah.
That would be another thing. I mean, something like that. I would feel comfortable with any of those. Late first, probably not. Second to third, I could handle like that. So
yeah.
But Geno's definitely interesting. Glad to see he's most likely going to stay put there in Seattle. We're going to go over to And here. And this is a tricky one. This is one of the big boys. Aaron Rodgers. Safe or not safe?
So this, you got to go from so many angles. 39 years old. He stated, I think it was on the Pat McAfee show, he's not mentally or emotionally ready to make a decision on playing football. So we know option 1 could be retirement. So that's definitely, it was something alarming whenever Jameson Williams, the little jersey swap, and he's like, I got to hold on to this one. So did that mean retirement, or like he's just done with Lambeau? He's just out.
Right.
So option 2, the Packers stick with him, and he wants to come back. I think this is the least likely outcome.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's the easiest outcome, but I don't think it happens. Option 3, the Packers trade him. The Packers will have to wait until June 1st to trade him. Something about his contract, I don't know. Packers, much more of a clear. We'll know a little more by then.
So he won't be drafted draft day.
He won't. No,
or not drafted, traded. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he won't be traded draft day. So Rodgers' 23 cap. This is where it gets real weird. His 23 cap is actually $31.62 million. So how did I come up with that number? He actually has a backloaded contract. His base salary is only $1.17 million. So he has a $58.3 million option bonus spread over 4 years, which is $15.7 million. I know, try to stick with me here. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So you look, then the deal has 3 pass backloading situations from 19 to 22. This would put another $15.83 million on that 23 contract. So you take the 15.79 plus the 15.83, and that gives you the $31.62 million. So instead of that big, everybody's saying 60 or whatever, it's not what it is. It's actually 31. So that makes possible trade destinations a little more interesting. A lot more people can afford them.
Yeah.
So Mac Jones was kind of disappointing. So I put New England as one of the possible destinations. They have $46 million cap. Bill Belichick, in my opinion, greatest coach of all time. He just missed the playoffs. Rodgers could really help Bill's legacy. Could they get him over the top? So that was one destination I thought of. Las Vegas Raiders is the number 2 spot. $21 million cap. And the release of Derek Carr, they would have much more. Old teammate Devontae Adams is there, so we know that could definitely be an interesting spot.
We know he prefers the West Coast.
Yeah, he definitely prefers there. Not really a win-now team, though, so, if he's looking for a championship, is that really,
I know.
And there's reports of Brady, which, maybe we'll talk a little bit about Brady here. Indianapolis is another spot. $20.5 million cap. I kind of believe that they won't do that. I feel like this has burned them a couple times. I think they're going to go in a draft. The New York Jets, and this is my favorite spot. I think this is a real possibility, guys. They're $2 million in the hole right now, but they could easily make some cuts and make it happen. After the firing of Mike LaFleur, they seem to be really interested in ex-Broncos coach Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yep. Hackett was the offensive coordinator for Rodgers from 19 to 21. In that time, Rodgers was the MVP in 20 and 2021. Joe Namath just came out and said that he would actually allow the Jets to unretire his number 12 jersey if they can get Rodgers.
Right.
That's crazy.
He's a real big advocate for it. I think he could become a little bit more fantasy relevant there again with some of these wide receivers they have. The big question, though, is what would it take to get Rodgers from Green Bay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're probably going to want definitely a first. Would they want 2 firsts? Would they want a first and a second?
I know
who's going to pay that?
It would probably depend on who's eating the salary, too.
Right, but being the 30, I don't know.
I know.
I know a lot of Green Bay fans want at least 2 firsts.
Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing on Twitter as well.
Right.
So that's just my big thing. Who's going to pay it? The Jets are in a great situation to pay it. They got a good young team.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it could really put them over the hump.
New York never minds paying either.
No, and a lot's going to have to transpire for this to happen. So,
Right.
If he goes to Jets, though, I'm kind of in on him back in fantasy. Could you get him for a second?
Because, that division, the Jets, if they would get him, you could probably steamroll New England. You're going to steamroll probably Miami, but you still got Buffalo to deal with.
Exactly. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be able enough to beat Buffalo, Cincinnati, Kansas City?
Right. Boy, the AFC would be loaded.
Yeah, it would be loaded. And them saying they're not going to trade him to an NFC team, I don't know. I think the Jets know they need to make a splash because Josh Allen's going to be there for a while.
Yeah,
and they're not picking high enough to get a good young quarterback.
No,
right?
No,
yeah.
And that's the thing, man. And not only that,
and they don't draft quarterbacks well. They drafted Sam Darnold, then they drafted Zach Wilson. So
they don't have a good history of drafting. They want to bring in a veteran guy with a good defense. And the thing is, Rodgers. We say that, but how much does he have to do? Because the Jets' defense is good.
Yes, it is. It's really good.
And if he can keep them in games, that's the key.
And then they got a young guy like Breece Hall that's shown he's really good.
Bell cow back.
Yep. So I think this could definitely happen. I think Rodgers is a bit of a diva about it. I think he kind of wants this to happen, but he's going to play it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's going to make people think.
He wants to be the center of attention.
And he's already talking about Zach Wilson, hey, man, be humble.
Yeah.
So, and I even wrote this before that's all happened.
Right.
And now, more puzzle pieces are kind of coming together. So.
Yeah. So I love that for Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I would too. I think it would be good for. I think it'd be good for the whole damn team.
Yeah.
They need stability at the quarterback
So
position.
I'm going to say safe, and I'm going to say he's a New York Jet in 2023.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
I can see it.
I like it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. We're going to go over to me here, and it's going to be another one that is really interesting. It's going to be Tom Brady, quarterback, currently Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's going to be over. As we know, Tom Brady, a lot of people, is he going to retire? Is he not going to retire? He's the kind of guy, man, as long as he always has that itch, he's going to scratch it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he is, the greatest quarterback of all time. And the thing is, these teams know that too. And if you don't think someone's not going to give him a shot, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I think he's done in Tampa Bay. I mean, they had to run there. I think he wanted to be out of there last year. I think he's seen what was coming. But he couldn't find a way out. He had to play this year, and he couldn't get out. So where does he go? Most logical destination to me, and I've said it, and I've said it all along, it's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. You got Josh McDaniel already out there, big Tom Brady guy, former Patriots offensive coordinator. They got weapons. They have the potential to win.
See, I just don't see it.
I do.
See, I do it too because they're in win now mode.
They are.
They're already traded for Devontae Adams. They are in complete win now mode. And who else are you going to get in free agency that's going to be able to compete with Tom Brady?
They got to try to make this work. They got a win.
Because now they're down the Jarrett Stidham.
I know, but you're in division with the Chiefs,
right? But they've already traded their picks for Devontae Adams. They're already.
I'd fire sale if I was the Raiders.
What's that?
I'd fire sale if I was the Raiders.
But they're not going to though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They have to try to make this work. And if they can sign Tom Brady to a 1-year deal, what's it hurt?
Yeah.
And that's what I said. Like, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Someone's going to give him an opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the way I look at it. Like, he's going to be out of Tampa Bay. We already seen Miami try to bring him in last year.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, too, Las Vegas, big city, big lights, big box office. They bring in a big name like Tom Brady. It just all fits to me. Like, I see it. They have the cap space.
Yeah.
The connections are there, man. And not only that, we go back to that mother effer thing, remember, with Derek Carr?
Yep.
So he was already interested in the Raiders before. So
see, and here's something that makes me think, and I agree with Moss. It's hard to see it. I don't think it's the right move for the franchise, but I think it will happen. I think it will happen just because why would they do that to Derek Carr?
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody's talking behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And we already know Tom Brady with the tampering thing with Miami. Like, it was out there.
Yeah.
See, this was a whole break room full of guys, and they were all saying this, and I was like, if Tom Brady can't get it done with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, what makes you think he's going to get it done with Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow? And they were like, well, Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow are way better. And I was like, I don't see it.
Adams is really
Adams
good,
but Renfrow.
It's not. That's not even really the point, though. It's like he had problems with Tampa Bay. He wanted out of there from the start. Like, he kind of knew they were on the decline. And the thing is, Josh McDaniels loves Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a New England guy. And the thing is, the way they're going to look at it is 1 year, you sign him.
Yeah.
You bring him in, everyone's going to be all excited.
Jersey sale.
And I was going to say, it comes from a revenue as well.
Yeah.
Like, whenever everybody's pissed off at Carr, so nobody's buying that.
Right.
Everybody's happy with Jacobs and Adams, but, like, you need that franchise quarterback guy.
Yeah.
You need to make revenue. And whenever Tampa Bay got Tom Brady, we were in the midst of COVID.
Yeah.
So, everybody's freaking out, trying to save money, and they sold out season tickets like that.
Somebody's got to pay for that new stadium.
Yeah. See, I kind of agree with you. I could see it happening. I just don't think it's the right move.
It isn't, but teams do this every.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking. Like, and I agree with you. It's probably not the right move as like as a franchise. But they're going to do it because you got to think of who the team is too. It's the Raiders. They do this stuff all the time.
Right.
The thing is, though, is what would be the right move though for the Raiders at quarterback? What would you do?
I'd bring a young guy in.
Who?
I honestly don't. I can't.
Trey Lance,
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah,
but
they're not going to bring a guy in via draft. But
no,
but they already gave up draft capital to get Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. They're kind of.
They're kind of screwed. I mean, maybe bringing a bridge guy like Brissett just for a year.
I think they bring in Brady because what does it hurt? Really, what does it
Yeah.
hurt? It's all beneficial.
They're gonna
you
make
have,
money.
You have a chance to win.
But even
you have a way to make money.
Brady's standpoint, like why would Brady come there? He's not going to win a championship with the Raiders.
Never know.
Yeah.
You never count out the GOAT, man.
I know, but
He
if
he
he
just-
can't win,
he-
with Tampa Bay is more of a complete team than the Raiders.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
he ain't gonna be in Tampa Bay.
I know, but I mean, I'm saying if he can't win with Tampa Bay, what makes you think he's going to come to the AFC and compete with Mahomes, Herbert? You know,
Brady always
He's always up for the challenge.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
He always wants to prove himself, and the
Yep.
thing is, man, it might not even be about winning. I think he just loves to play.
yeah.
Do you think?
know.
Do you think retires is a real scenario though too? Do you think?
I don't. Not after
Everything he lost.
losing his family.
Yeah.
Why would he play one more year to lose his family?
because
You know
he
what I mean?
does have a big contract to do
Yeah.
TV
just
as well.
just the way I look at it is the last thing I'm going to say about it, so we can move on. Is it's all beneficial for the Raiders. They got a chance to win. They're going to get jersey sales. It's a bridge year anyhow. I mean, they're not going to have to give up much to get him.
Exactly.
I mean,
1 year deal.
So real quick, what would you guys pay for him in Dynasty Fantasy Football? I don't think I can do a first. It's just too big of
no,
a
no,
damn
no.
well.
I'd gamble a late second.
second for sure.
Just-
I would.
The greatest
mid to
player,
late second.
If you know you can win and you just need another quarterback, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
greatest player of all time. I think he's worth that, even in a fantasy setting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second, late second, be fine. I mean, we're going to go over to Ty here. Another veteran, Matt Stafford. Ooh, safe or not safe?
Safe for this year coming because, again, I mean, Baker Mayfield's not a threat to his job.
No.
So he's going to be the guy. I mean, it's just, I mean, McVay's staying, so that helps. They still have Cooper Kupp. I don't think they're going to blow it up just yet. I think this is their last year.
Yep.
I think they're just going to, throw everything. I mean, they've already thrown everything. They're just going to throw whatever else they got. This is it for them. They're going to try like heck. And the NFC isn't that strong. So, like I said, they're going to try like heck. And, I mean, Matthew Stafford, I just hope over the offseason he gets over what was wrong with him last year because he didn't look very good last year, but he's still going to be the guy. So, definitely going to be safe this year. But after next year, I think he is going to be done just like pretty much the rest of the Rams. I think it's just going to completely unfold on them. So, I would just hold on to him this year.
I agree. I agree with you, man. And that's the thing. Like that's another one. They got to try to make it work. This is their opportunity,
Yeah.
And they already all said they're coming back this year, so you're safe this year.
Yep, I'd hold too. Nobody wants him in Dynasty Football. You might as well just hold and get what you get and just ride it out.
Yep, for sure. And I think if you were looking to buy him, I think the most I'd be willing to pay is probably like a late second.
Yep.
So
Mid to late second, right around the Brady price, I'd pay.
Yep, because he's getting close to the end too.
Yeah.
And injuries.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. But kind of a quicker one there. But man, Matt Stafford, you felt so good for him winning that Super Bowl. You thought maybe he could keep it going.
I'm glad he at least won one.
Yeah,
He
me
deserved
too.
it.
Me too. You wish you could keep it going, but man, the injuries and stuff really derailed him.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go over here to Muss, the last one on the list, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, see,
Safe or not safe?
this one's the most interesting one I had. They got a new GM, so it's hard to say what direction he's going to go. He's got no ties to Tannehill or any of these guys. But they are negative in cap. They're in the bottom three as far as cap room, so they don't have any room to bring a guy in unless they make a whole bunch of cuts, and
Yeah.
who wants to do that? They do have the 11th pick in the draft, so maybe Anthony Richardson territory.
Do they try to maybe make a move and go up the draft board?
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
They could. They did draft Malik Willis last year, and we know how that worked out.
But where they got him, I will say, was
Oh, yeah.
You might as
You
well
know.
take a chance at
yeah,
that point.
you might as
yeah,
well take a
'cause,
chance.
everybody
They
was on
swung at the
hype.
ball and just missed.
Right. $18 million to keep him this year. That's all. I mean, I don't want to say that's all they're paying him, but that and if
In this market anymore.
if they
Yeah.
cut him, it's a 36.
They're not cutting him.
So they're not cutting him.
Nope.
So he's gonna be there unless he's traded. Now in 2024, it's only a 4.6 million cap hit. So I could see him cut after this year
Right.
if it doesn't pan out. Now I will say they got rid of AJ Brown, so that obviously hurt him a little bit.
Backfired.
Yeah, and Treylon Burks couldn't stay on the field. Mm-hmm. So, and can you guys name another Titans receiver other than that guy with 3 names?
Westbrook Akine.
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry.
You're all right.
But yeah, I mean, exactly.
What about
like,
a Okonkwo there at tight
Oh
end?
yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I mean,
Okonkwo looks
Okonkwo
good.
came, at the tail end of the year and everything. But
What about Robert Woods?
Yeah,
it didn't work out.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised. That
Me
ACL
too.
must have really effed him up. But, yeah, I mean, he's just kind of a guy that I'm kind of just holding.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they bring in more receiver help for him.
Right. And if they do bring in like an Anthony Richardson, he's not going to start right away.
No, but I could see Tannehill cut next year.
Yeah, yeah.
So
me
you're
too.
saying safe this year.
Yeah.
And someone you don't want to go out and look to buy because
No.
Yeah.
But I will say this: someone's going to come up with Chicago. Someone's going to move up.
Oh
Someone's-
yeah.
I can almost guarantee you someone's going to try
Oh,
to get
yeah.
up there and get a quarterback. I don't know who it'll be. It might not be the Titans. Someone's going to make a move.
Because I see Chicago is now saying they are scouting quarterbacks. I think that's to
Yeah,
To try to get somebody to trade up and get scared.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
You always got to hold your cards close.
You got to play the game.
And I'll just say this on record: if they draft somebody and trade Justin Fields, that's a big mistake. It's a big mistake.
They got so many needs.
right.
Justin Fields would easily be the 1-1 for me in this class, even though I'm not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
I surely they're going to take Will Anderson if they stay at that position.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's it. They might run it down to the very least and try to get someone to come up and come get it.
Yeah.
I think someone's going to come up.
Ty, do you think Justin Fields is the best quarterback out of this class?
There ain't very many that was promising to me. Maybe.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, probably. I mean,
gotta-
I'm not a Stroud guy. I'm not a Bryce Young guy.
I'd prefer Will Levis just a little bit, just because I think if he gets in the right situation with the coaching, look
Yeah.
what happened with Josh Allen. It can do wonders, but it depends on where they end up.
I was going to say, from a fantasy standpoint, no. From an NFL standpoint, yes.
Yeah, I always like to give you.
Yeah, NFL standpoint, Justin Fields ain't winning crap in his career. Guaranteed. Sorry, Chicago.
Not in
It's the
Chicago,
truth.
yeah.
Yeah, we love Chicago. We hope they get it on
They
track.
do need to get him some help, though.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I
Mas,
will.
it don't matter.
But when
The
you're
guy-
trading the 2-1, basically
I
the last
know.
pick for Chase
That was
Claypool, this is
stupid.
what you get.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Last pick of the first round, technically.
Yeah.
how many
That's
yards
crazy.
do you have on the lines? I don't care who you have at receiver. I,
I know,
don't even
but
know if
they
he
got
threw
that-
for 100 yards
They
on the
got that
lines.
St. Brown guy they're throwing to.
Equanimous.
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 It is what it is. Some other teams are making it work. Look what Daniel Jones had to work
I
with.
know. Still.
Because Daniel Jones is a stud.
Throwing dimes, Danny Dimes.
Throwing dimes.
That's true. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
So
They
Ju-
could
Justin
get,
Fields sucks.
They could
but
get him
let's move
some
on.
help.
Well, that's going to do it for the quarterback safe or not safe episode. I'm glad we went over that because that's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. And we got free agency, we got trade and all that
Yeah.
stuff coming up. We got to keep our eyes peeled. The NFL draft's getting closer every day. We all can't wait for that.
Yep.
And speaking of that, next week we're going to be doing rookie running back film evaluation week 1.
Yep.
So we're going to
I
be
think we're
going.
going to throw it into 2 parts.
Yep.
We've got a lot of guys.
Got a lot of guys to go over. We're going to go over the first batch of guys, and that'll be really interesting. Can't wait to start diving in some tape. We've already started quite a bit. And there's
Really disappointed in Sean Tucker.
that's a little teaser for next week.
Uh-oh.
Underwhelmed.
It's a little
Glad I didn't take him.
that's a little teaser. Yeah. Hey, I'm willing to admit that I didn't do much homework. Now that I
didn't
I didn't either.
Now that I did, I'll know more. But running back, rookie film evaluation next week, guys. Go ahead and jump in with us. That'll be a lot of fun. Couple things to mention here before we hop off. Of course, YouTube was a success. We're up and rolling on there. So check us out over there.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
everything helps.
Like and
Hit
subscribe.
the little bell thing.
Yeah.
Notifications.
Yeah, like and subscribe. We really appreciate it, guys. Like, we're having a blast doing this. It's just surreal that we're on all platforms now. So check us out over there if you want to. You can still check us out on Spotify, Apple Pod, Stitcher. We're on all the big podcasting networks. Check us out on all those. And give us a 5 stars, thumbs up, downloads. That all helps. I mean, you guys have been rocking those out unbelievably. We've grown so much in this span of time. Every week, it just seems to be more and more. And it's just fun. Like I said, we enjoy making the content. We enjoy bringing it to you and just
My favorite
talk.
part of the year right here.
Yeah,
these
this is what we all look forward
breaking
to.
down rookies.
And when the NFL season ends, this is all we got to look forward to is talking about these guys. So, it's a real blast bringing it to you, and we're going to keep doing it. And like I said, next week, rookie running back film evaluation week 1. So don't be sure to miss that. Check that out.
Yeah.
And we appreciate everything, and we will see you on the next episode of Dynasty DNA.
See you
Good
guys.
week,
See ya.
guys.